Hello, Los Angeles. We are so excited to be here with you today. My name is Lena Saleh, and I am a product and content educator here at Canva. I worked in the classroom for 10 years, and I have spent the last 8 years actually empowering educators like yourself to create and communicate in the world and beyond. Now, let's first dive into what is Canva for Education. I know you're all here because you know a little bit about Canva for Education. But Canva for Education is your all-in-one visual communications platform. I want you to take a look around your room or wherever you are today, and I want you to think about all the things that are visually communicating to you. Canva is the tool to do that and to help your students prepare for the world beyond the classroom. Now, why is Canva for Education free? Well, it is part of our two-step plan. One part of that plan is to build one of the most valuable companies in the world. And step two is to do the most good that we can. And Canva for Education fits right into doing the most good that we can. If you haven't checked out the keynote, make sure you check that out to learn more about our two-step plan. Now, today, how familiar are you with Canva's collaboration tools? 1, you're not familiar, or 4, you're very familiar. There's no wrong answer here, but we're doing it the old school way by showing us on your hands or contributing by taking our poll. Amazing. We have a multitude of learners in today's classroom, and we're so excited that you're here today. Now, what will you learn today? You are going to learn how to utilize Canva's whiteboards for an engaging classroom experience, enhancing digital literacy and communication with video, and to bring that real-world learning to life with Canva's tools. But first, some features that I think that you're really going to want to keep on your radar today. And that's the visual suite. No more tab switching, just teaching. How many times have you been trying to find your resources in Canva and you might not have been able to find them? Well, today, now you can compile them in the all-in-one visual communications suite, or in one single design. You can have a presentation. You can then have a doc. You can then have a spreadsheet. You can then have a whiteboard. You can have everything that you need to teach in one place. And I know that's a time-saving tool for myself, so I can't imagine what it will do for you in your classrooms. Not only that, but sheets. Sheets have a long time, or Excel or anything, have long time been an intimidating tool. There's been so often that I can't think of a formula and I spend so much time Googling and trying to figure it out. Well, gone are those days. With Magic Actions, you'll be able to do everything that you need in your classroom, from assessments and rubric and data collection to even filling data. It's really going to change your life. And last but not least, live to all of you today is the Assignment Hub, where you can assign, track, and engage students all in one place. In the past, you would just have one stream and steady flow. Today, now you can progress track and you can see everything in our easy to use internal dashboard. Now, what is today's agenda? We're going to cover Canva for classroom collaboration, engaging with interactive whiteboards, innovating with video tools, a live demo and playtime, and then we're going to wrap it up. Empowering the classroom with collaboration. We all know that collaboration is vital to today's world. With 73% of companies are adopting remote work and making smooth and effortless collaboration not just vital, but essential. And 92% of HR professionals increasingly prioritize soft skills, such as teamwork and communication, over some of those highly technical skills. So what makes the difference to a hiring manager is somebody who has those soft skills with that teamwork and communication. It is becoming increasingly more expensive to upskill and to teach people how to have that communication and collaboration versus just having those technical skills. Now let's take a look at how collaboration has changed in just the last 10 years. In 2014, our work environments were predominantly in office. Once the pandemic hit, we saw a real shift to hybrid and remote work. Even around the room in today's audience, we have people from Australia, from the Philippines, from Malaysia, and everywhere in between. But the beautiful thing is that we all can work together, whether you're reporting in an office or you're solely remote like myself. There also used to be this focus on individual contribution and hard skills, where today there's an emphasis on teamwork, soft skills, and adaptability. So it's not just what you can contribute and what hard skills you have, but how can you play together as a team? The communication style used to be extremely synchronous. You would just walk down the hall, communicate with your superior or your colleagues, and then you would walk back down and it would be the end of your communication. Today, it's that mix of synchronous and asynchronous. We just think about how we learn in today's world as educators. There used to be this one time all you would always go into a physical location to learn. And now you can learn online at your own pace. The learning style has really changed. And that's how it's changing in the business world itself, too. And our team interaction, it used to be these structured and scheduled meetings. You knew what time, what place you were going to be showing up. In today's world, you can communicate continuous and often with those interactions via chat apps. I can always, if I were to check my Slack right now, I probably have 100 notifications of people sharing with me all the time. So that will play a role in how today's students learn and what skill set they will need to evolve in a world of which they work. Now, how can we engage students with interactive whiteboards? Today, we'll take a look at what makes Canva whiteboards unique and what whiteboards really add to the learning environment. So, what makes a whiteboard unique? Well, we have an infinite canvas. You can have multiple pages with multiple infinite canvases. You can have up to 300 elements on a canvas at one time. Synced timers, so you can have those timers displaying. There's also quick flow shapes. I'll show you exactly what that means, and some AI enhancements. What do whiteboards add to the learning environment? Well, whiteboards give that anytime, anywhere collaboration, meaning today I could collaborate with my team all around the world, no matter where they are. So your students could be at home, in person, maybe they're in another room. Anyone can be collaborating with up to 50 collaborators at a certain time. There's also that AI powered organization. Imagine brainstorming without the chaos. Ideas are sorted and organized, automatically freeing up our mind to focus on creativity and problem solving. This is an absolute game changer for both yourself and your students. No more having to sort through stickies and figure out who said what. Now you can sort within a quick click. And whiteboards also provide that interactive learning opportunity with real-time engagements and reactions. Students aren't just passive, they become participants in their education. So it fosters a more engaging learning experience. Not only that, but whiteboards offer versatility in content creation, allowing teachers to transform brainstorming sessions into structured outputs or entirely new designs. This caters to various teaching methods and learning styles, ensuring that every student can thrive. Now let's explore how these whiteboards can be used in the classroom. So we're only going to look at two-ish examples today just to save interest for time. So field trips, a one-stop shop without ever leaving the classroom, and for community building and more, that infinite space, infinite collaboration. So let's take a look at what exactly that looks like in action. So I am not a designer by trade. We're going to see this in action. I'm not a designer on trade, but what Canva Whiteboards does for me is all within about 15-minute time frame. I actually took my students, I was actually able to build this immersive field trip. Canva gives me the tools to be able to create quickly and to make sure that it is also visually stimulating to the eye. And I could do that all within a few buttons. So if we take a look here, I'm originally from Denver. I do reside in Houston today, but today we're going to take a virtual field trip to the Denver Mint. I can't pick up my students and take them with me. So why don't we go through a more immersive experience together? So first I found a picture of a mint from the Elements tab, this little thing from Denver. I also used the quick flow shape. So I just hovered on a shape and I just click on this little plus sign here, and that is able to give me another shape. So I just took my text here, and something if you don't know about money and the mint itself is that each coin is signified with a letter on it, and that tells the location of where the money was actually produced. So I can have my students, I grab this right from the Element Library, I can have my students record their observations here. I could hover over these and I could sort them really quick by topic, by color, by name, or by reaction, so I can see who's contributed to this whiteboard. After that, we take a stop and I quickly added a YouTube video. I just copy and pasted this, so it just quickly embedded, no need for long embed codes. Then I was able to add a map so my students can actually take an immersive experience and they can actually go around Denver itself and they can explore what the neighborhood looks like. And then I also included a flat map. So I just am quickly copying and pasting this and building this. I click the little arrow here and I created my next stop. If I want to, I can change how the line looks itself. I can also click on the text itself and I can change the text direction, and I can change the type of typography if I wanted. So there's all those options. Then I took a article, I just copy and pasted this right from the Mint. So I want my students to go ahead and read this. After that, I took some photos of women who are in the Mint because they actually did play quite a pivotal role in the Mint and the creation of it. So now I want my students to take a visual dive. So I want them to get a look and feel for how they're actually feeling, and what they can gather from this overview. So I quickly took these sticky notes here and they actually had ideas on them and I sorted them. So I can just sort them right now. So I can sort them by topic. And my students gave me an idea about what they saw in the Mint itself. And you can see here that it just resorted it. And we can see some quick overarching themes with a click of a button. Gender roles and representation. So here's some things here. Workplace challenges, and then inspiration and motivation. So I was able to get a really high level look at what my students were thinking that they were seeing here in these photos. And then we give them an article to read. So I put a little book here just to have that there. And then I took that article and I said, give me a 4-question quiz with the correct answers. And I just created these polls and quizzes right here in Canva. Right after that, I could see the responses and I can see who took this poll, what the correct answer is, and it will let me know here, collecting the information from your students in real time. Not only that, but we can use this for building that collaboration. So brainstorming, you could do it with KWL charts. How many times have you had a KWL chart on your board or on somewhere located in your class? The students have sticky notes, you've gathered the information, and then what happens? Someone rips it down, something happens to it, and it's missing. You don't have that correlation of year over year thinking or even class over class. So in this KWL chart, you can take that and then you can also organize it and you can have a quick summation of the ideas. You can also do whole class brainstorming. Now, here at Canva, we use Canva to do a lot of brainstorming as well. So why not use that in your classroom? I'm going to come back to that one. You can also use it for a classroom debate, some community building with creating some fake Instagram posts, because students, we all know, love anything that has to do with social media, and then quick check-ins for that social emotional learning. One way that I think is often underutilized is that interactive word wall. Use this space to create a word wall for your students. They can go to Magic Media, even create an image that represents the word that you're thinking about. You could have pages of whiteboards for each class, each subject area, and each student could have their own word wall as well. So everyone is contributing to this word wall so that when they leave the walls of the classroom, it's not gone forever. It's just the students are able to access that and think about it even from home. So it gives them a greater opportunity for learning and a greater place to hold on to that. Now, in addition to that, let's move on to innovating with Canva's video tools. So there are 2 components that we want to look at today, and that's the benefits of video in the classroom and then collaborative video projects to foster that creativity, because that's what we're here for, fostering that creativity in your classroom. Some of the benefits of creating video on Canva are that it's really easy to use. How many of you, raise your hands, have been in the classroom and can say honestly that you're the best video editor that's ever walked the planet? Most of us don't have that skill set, but Canva makes it easy for you to be able to create a video and create it quickly and even within one class period, which to me is pretty life-changing and something that I know I'll be utilizing in my classroom. Or I've heard that from many educators as well. So you can easily import your audio and video. You can record on a device. You can take your mobile phone and you can record. Most students have a mobile device, so why not utilize that in your classroom? You can easily embed media, just like I showed you with my whiteboard. There's those one-click animations and transitions. You can do, there's longer form background remover, so longer videos, you can remove the background, and then editable captions. And now you can even do that karaoke style captions as far as our community wish list. Now, what do videos add to the learning environment? It's such a great question and something that we should really be thinking about. Well, it's easy to use. So, gone are the days of having to figure out long time tutorials of how to quickly edit a video. You can resize a presentation and turn it into a video all within a click of a button. It also gives students and yourself that creativity and expression. Also, enhanced engagement. Students love creating and they love being able to do videos. Back when I was a kid, I'd walk to the library and have to figure out information. And now I can figure it out from TikTok. I can go to YouTube. I can figure everything that I need out very, very quickly. Also, those collaborative features. So you can easily collaborate in real time. I don't know of another video project that allows you, a product that allows you to have 50 collaborators at one time. Now, how can you foster that collaboration with video? Well, with podcasting in the classroom, collaborate, create, and bring those students' voices to life. And book trailers, turn the books into movie magic. So here's some examples that I just pulled from X, or formerly known as Twitter, of how teachers are using this in your classroom. Here are two prime examples. This first one is this teacher is using this as a whole class project. So each person is customizing their own slide and adding their own voice right in Canva to this I believe statement. So by the end of the class period, they have a whole classroom podcast that they can share with parents. They can download it and upload it into your favorite podcast hosting service. How cool is that? To me, that's pretty game changing. And then students are also here podcasting, just highlighting some of their day. They're actually doing a group collaboration podcast. And then there's some other examples, turning those books into movie magic. I know my nephew was just doing a wax museum. And so they had poster boards and they came in and they had to kind of bring them to life. But what if you could do this with video? And you can do that by just using this book trailer. So here, this students collaboratively worked to create a project for their author fest where they were creating book trailers. And then we also have here students were creating promo trailers for their books in groups. I mean, that's pretty cool and pretty fun and engaging for the students. So let's take a look at this video and what the students were able to do. They took this B-roll, which is what you see in the back, and they were able to collaboratively build this really cool project about I'm watching. It's a scary movie, which is what you're kind of getting the idea of here. So for the interest of time, we're not going to go through it, but I think it's pretty great to see everyone all in one place being able to create something that's more captivating than just a project board that you would just throw out at the end of the day. Now, the secret sauce to any design and creating in Canva is those 6 million safer school videos, the 89,000 sound effects and audio tracks, and the millions of high quality elements and photos. But not only that, each of these are vetted by our team on a regular, consistent basis, since we are growing our element library and photo library by the day. So they are being checked to make sure that they are safe for school. But you can also take everything to the next level with magic. I could take a photo of the stadium sign. I could pull the words out. I could easily translate it in a click of a button. I could grab the background. I could take myself out of Canva Create and plop myself somewhere else. And then you have the ability to create with magic media. You can create videos or elements. The possibilities are truly limitless. And then you can fuel your creativity with live collaboration, those real-time comments, the reactions, and the collaboration that we've been talking about today. Now it's your turn to create something. So we're going to create an Instagram post today that represents the Canva launch that you're most excited about. So you're going to find any page in your design. I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to head to Magic Media and you're going to create a video or an image. You're going to add a caption using our new Generate AI voice. And you're going to copy the link to your page and we're going to showcase those results on a whiteboard gallery. So now let me show you how. Okay, so here I am in my design and I'm going to hover on any available page and I'm going to click on the frame itself. And on the frame, I'm then going to go to elements and I'm going to go to AI generator and generate my own. So I'm going to create a curly haired, about my favorite launch. I'll show you what it is. Curly haired woman in front of her students sharing about data and how impactful that will be in the classroom. In the background, show photos of data sets and make it appear happy and excited. You can put whatever prompt you feel there. And then from there, you can decide to do a square if you want, but you can do a video or graphic, whatever you choose to do, and then click generate. Forgot to put the color of hair, so I'm going to generate it again. Nothing wrong with that. Just I want it to look more so like myself. All right, here we go. And now we can see we have an image, and I'm just going to, the image automatically appears on my upload. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm just going to drag this and then I just put that, and then I'm just going to put the image here. I'm going to highlight it and put set image as background. Get rid of the frame. Okay, now the image is back behind here. And then now I'm going to create a caption, but instead I'm going to use Magic Write. So I'm going to hover over the pencil, and then I'm going to put custom prompt. I'm going to say create a caption for an educator who is excited about Canva Sheets and how it will make teaching data more immersive and fun for her students. Include relevant hashtags. Why am I including hashtags? Because this is a social media post. Relevant hashtags. Relevant trending hashtags. And then I'm going to hit submit, and it's going to give me a caption. I can do more like this if I want an alternate one. Great. Diving into the world of Canva Sheets. Excited to make data lessons more immersive and fun for my students. Let's transform numbers into stories. I think that's pretty great. Data made fun, Canva education, EdTech revolution, and teaching with tech. Pretty good. So I'm just going to replace this. I'm going to remove that part. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this text. I'm going to hover over the pencil, and you'll have to scroll down, and you're going to click Generate AI Voice. Make sure you have the right dialect here. So I'm from the United States, so I would choose English from the United States. However, I could have more of a UK one, and you'll see here it changes the characters based on wherever your location is. So I'm just going to click play.
Transforming data into vibrant stories with Canva Sheets.
Great. So it just gives us a little test of what we're going to see. So then it will generate all of the text here that you see. And so I'm just going to click generate, and it's going to generate that voice. And now you'll see the audio track has been added here to the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and I'm just going to see how long is this. So it's 10.1 seconds. So I'm going to click on this position, and I'm just going to make it longer than the track itself, just so there's a little bit of spacing when I go to play this audio itself as a podcast track. And then when we go to play it,
I can't wait to introduce Scrollies into my classroom. Hashtag Scrollies Magic, hashtag Interactive Teaching, hashtag Teaching Revolution, hashtag Ado Innovation, hashtag Teacher Life, hashtag Classroom Magic.
Diving into the world of Canva Sheets. Excited to make data lessons more immersive and fun for my students. Let's transform numbers into stories.
Okay, so we just played that track there, and we saw how those two just matched up exactly how we wanted it to. And then now what I'm going to do is I have the link to this page. So I'm going to hover over this, and I want my students to do a virtual gallery walk. So not only are we producing a podcast, but we're also doing a virtual gallery walk. So you can click on the grid down here, or you can just scroll over to the pages. So I personally like to go to the grid because I like to save myself some time and energy. And I pre-made this grid with a gallery walkthrough, and I'm just going to paste this here, and I'm just going to throw it onto one of these squares. And then now I can see the page itself. If I wanted to change how the embed look, I could click edit link, and I can change this. I can make it a link. I can make it an embed, which is what we see. And maybe I want it to show more pages than one. I can choose whichever one, but for the instance of this, I just want one page. And then while hovering over this, I'm going to leave a comment. I'm just going to say, wow, I also love data. And then I'm going to give a reaction, the heart eyes. You can add whatever emoji you'd like, and we can do it like that. We can also come over here. We could add a sticker if we wanted. Oh, amazing. You did such an amazing job. And this will come here in the thread. And then now when I zoom out, I can see all of the things that have been created here, and I can also see the comments that have been placed on this board itself. So now I can decide to share this. I can copy the link for anyone to view. I can also create a public view link if I want. So I could create this, create a public view link. I could share this with my parents. I could also change the insights here if I wanted. We have, for the interest of today, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. And here we have
Diving into the world of Canva sheets. Excited to make data lessons more immersive and fun for my students. Let's transform numbers into stories.
So we have our podcast ready to go. We can download it as an MP4 and share it into our favorite podcast hosting service. And there we go. That is a summation of today's demo. Thank you, everyone. Now we're going to go to some helpful resources. So here is, I work in Canva's design school, which you're part of the design lab session. So thank you so much for joining that. And here in this session, I just wanted to share some educator resources with you. You can learn more with Canva's Design School. This page specifically is just teacher resources. It's all of our educator tutorials, our design playbooks, our student resources. There's a wealth of resources available for you that you definitely want to utilize. So make sure that you follow along and you screenshot this for yourself. And then if you haven't noticed, Design School is live and is available for you today. So let's take a dive in at what Design School looks like, so you can see how it's changed and how we have relaunched it for you today. So here I am on the Design School page. I can click on Get Certified, and I can get certified in a multitude of courses. We have everything for every type of stakeholder. So it's not just education, but we do have Marketing with Canva. That's our brand new course, Canva for Work. So we have a few different resources for you. You can also click on cheat sheets if you wanted, and you could choose teacher, and you can see all of the teacher cheat sheets that we have available for you today. So here are story starters. There's a multitude of resources that you can find and that are available to you right now. So make sure that you explore those resources to help keep you inspired and empowered today. Now, with all things we say in Canva, we've come so far, but we've only covered 1% of the things that you can do in Canva, and that's just so true. There's a variety of things and resources that you can be exploring, so we hope that you will get started today. And as always, we like to leave you with one last question, and that is, what will you design today? Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.